If your job at a healthcare facility includes disinfecting against viruses, you know prevention is the best medicine. And maintaining healthy spaces starts with a healthy cleaning routine. Grainger's world-class supply chain helps ensure you have the quality products you need when you need them. From disinfectants and cleaning supplies to personal protective equipment, so you can help deliver a clean bill of health. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Mitch Moss, Pauly Howard with you live here on Memorial Day. Downtown Las Vegas, Circa Resort and Casino is the spot. Busy program lined up today. Good guests on the program. Anthony Curtis, Mr. Las Vegas advisor in studio. In an hour from right now, Dennis Bernstein on the NHL. Brackets are out for the College World Series. Aaron Moore will join the program. Plus, we have tons of day baseball, the NBA to get into as well. Win some, lose some coming up. A big injury in the WNBA, Pauly. And we'll begin because we do have some drama in the Eastern Conference of the NBA and the finals there of that conference after last night's improbable and surprising come-from-behind win by the New York Knicks. They were dead and buried the way it looked at halftime and maybe even a little bit beyond that before they started to mount their comeback. And because of that now, they trailed 2-1 against Indiana. But think good in terms of, again, overall drama and entertainment and getting, this series extended. And for those of you who bet over 5.5 games or you took like some various derivatives with those series numbers, you had to have that last night from the Knicks, and somehow, some way, they delivered. Good for them.
It was all about Cat, though. I mean, how about that? The guy's benched in Game 2. He's got 4 points going in the fourth quarter, and then he takes over. And again, it's bizarre. How are they going to play moving forward in the rest of the series? Their 2 best quarters have been when Brunson's been on the bench.
How do you figure that?
I know. So he's in foul trouble again. I think it's a lot about let guys cook and let other guys get involved. Although Brunson's a great player. But certainly they let him back in the series. They let him off the mat. That's over. You're going up 3-0. You're up 20. You can't give that away. The comeback is you didn't play well. You only scored 100 points, but still you're up 20 in that game. But it was all about Cat in the fourth quarter and Thibodeau tinkering with the lineup and benching Hart and bench Cat in Game 2 and putting Landry Shamet out there and putting Payne on the bench. And finally something stuck and worked in the fourth quarter. They're able to save their season and finally win a playoff game in Indiana.
You can bring Hart off the bench if you want, but I need that dude on the court 40 minutes a game. I just, it's a pun, but I love the last name. That's what he plays with. And the hustle and the passion that he delivers every single night, he was awesome in the game last night down the stretch. Had to have that. And I would say this, at DraftKings, you can bet on the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Halliburton, because they're up 2-1, is the favorite. He's the short shot at -130. Brunson's plus 225-ish. Karl Anthony Towns is 20-1. Maybe you can find higher than that. I know what you're saying about Game 2, but if you go back to Game 1 and how awesome he was there, the fact that their 2 best quarters, as you just said, was when Brunson was on the bench, and they don't win that game last night without Karl Anthony Towns, 20-1 on him? What?
Not bad.
That absolutely would be, if you think the Knicks can come back and win the series, like I don't have a vote, but if I did, I would tell you right now that if the Knicks win, I would, as of this second, Karl Anthony Towns would absolutely be on my ballot ahead of Jalen Brunson.
Yeah. Little Skinner thing going on. How much do you hold third period of Game 1 against him? How much will they hold Game 2 against him that he was benched and did nothing? But
I think what happened last night has to supersede all of that in Game 1.
I agree. It's been a strange series. And also we lost some bets on Game 2 as they were outplayed and Toppin plus-minus was atrocious, and Turner got the minutes, and then Siakam was the hero.
Got killed me
and
in
then
that game.
And then last night Toppin goes over points and rebounds, and they're like plus 16. I think he was on the floor, but they weren't good minutes out of Turner. So I think Indiana responds and gets the win at home in Game 4. But certainly this series should be over, and they gave the Knicks some life and some hope now.
So you like the updated series price, huh? That has moved.
Yeah, there was some $2 out there.
Yeah, now $2.30 or heavier, yeah.
So what? If Indiana wins, the Knicks are still laying 5.5 at home in Game 5? That can't be.
I don't think that. Yeah, that number would be.
And Indiana's won 6 in a row on the road in the playoffs. So that's another one, too. And it's home court hasn't mattered. with these two teams, which is the other bizarre thing.
I do think the way the series has played out, the Pacers probably up 2-1 feels about right to me.
Yes.
Right, because they should not have won game one.
Yes.
And then last night they had the Knicks dead. They just couldn't hit shots, and they were kind of bad last night in that game overall. So I think 2-1 feels pretty accurate to me. But how do you like what they're laying at home compared to what the Knicks are laying at home when they play?
Yeah, I don't understand this. Why is it only 2? Why is it only 2.5?
Sure.
You know they're going to respond. And the same thing just played out in the last series. They won the first 2 games in Cleveland. They were blown out in Game 3 at home, and then responded and blew them out in Game 4.
Yep. Big
dogs in Game 5 won that game. Maybe Pacers in 5 happens here again, and the same thing plays out. They respond. You get a stronger game. To me, they can't play any worse. But you get a better performance by Indiana. They can close them out in the Garden in Game 5.
Yeah, well, you got to be feeling pretty good. Now, you locked up a profit, but you gave out in pocket weeks ago. When was that, by the way? Is that when they were playing the Bucks in the first round?
It was the first round. It was the first round, and a big reason why was Cleveland's lack of defense in the first 2 home games against Miami.
Yeah, and you had
right.
you bet the Pacers and explained why you thought at 19-1 to win the East was a good bet. So you did come back and take a little bit on the Knicks to guarantee yourself a profit here, but to cash at 19-1, you and others who tailed got to be feeling pretty good, even though the Pacers blew the game last night and did not come away with a 3-0 series lead.
Yeah. I didn't even look in play either. I thought it was over.
Oh, I did.
Shame on me.
I did because, and I tweeted this out, Same book got me twice this weekend. Same book. Now I've learned my lesson. It's just a total travesty. And what happened last night is I saw the Knicks were coming back. I needed to see some life in that team before I got down on them at halftime to come back and win the game.
I do agree that was big that they cut it to 13.
Yeah,
the menu run there a little bit, right?
Sure.
Okay.
And so it's a 3-point game. They're 2-1 to win the game. I'm like, okay, I'll try to fire on the Knicks at this point. Tried to fire, and the same thing at the same book happened to me in the game on a player prop in the Wolves game on Thursday night when I waited on a prop for Anthony Edwards. Tried to bet it, no, rejected, can't take it, number moved, yada, yada, yada. Same thing had happened last night. Okay, I'll finally fire on the Knicks at 2-1. Spins, rejects, offer me a different number, doesn't take my bet, and I basically give him the middle finger. And now God, is that just, what are we doing here? What kind of racket are we in 2025? Come on, if you're going to offer it live during the entire game and you put a bet in, take the bet, have the technology so the bet goes in.
No, that should be illegal. I'm with you. That's unacceptable, no doubt.
But I got to be honest. So you like the Pacers to bounce back in Game 4?
Yes. But this is intriguing, though, about Tibbs is trying everything. Mm-hmm. And even Barkley and Kenny are like, this guy, his rotations are so weird.
I know.
And he just throws guys, this doesn't work, you're on the bench. I'll try this guy. How about that? And then he only ran with the starters for much of the regular season. But starters on the floor, Game 1, Knicks outscored by 13. Game 2, Knicks outscored by 16. Indiana, 61% from the floor, 52% from 3 when the Knicks starters were on the floor.
Wow.
155 points per 100 possessions, which I don't have to tell you would be far and away a record. So there were some adjustments made in Game 3, but moving forward, you can't get away from this. This is the entire playoffs, that when the starters are on the floor, they get outscored.
Amazing.
And then still, right, it is stunning that their 2 best quarters of the series, Brunson's been on the bench. I don't know.
Well,
it's so weird.
The whole thing about the parity in the NBA, and we are going to have a 7th champion in 7 years for the first time in the history of the league this year. I mean, it just ends the way that game happened. That's the 3rd time now the Knicks came back from a 20-point deficit in the playoffs to win. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Come on. And the way what the Pacers have done as well, which has actually been more improbable late in those games, 3 different times to come back and win. To me, it's been like the most unpredictable in-game stuff that I can ever remember in the NBA playoffs.
Yep.
I mean, you like the Pacers? I have no idea what the hell's going to happen in Game 4. No clue. But again, going back to what these teams are laying at home, I don't get the difference in the power rating.
Yeah, I'm with you. Pacers are the better team. Mm-hmm. They've shown that based on how they blitzed through the number 1 team, and certainly the Knicks won, but 3 were epic comebacks against Boston, and then the best players out of Game 6. I mean, it's the same thing with OKC, where it's how does that happen in Game 3? Where you could just kept betting Minnesota in play and you had nothing to worry about.
Well, pretty much every number of the game cash that you would have been betting.
Yeah.
All right, so there's some intrigue there. What do you make of what happened yesterday afternoon in the NHL with the Oilers taking a 2-1 lead over Dallas, and they were sensational in that game?
Yeah, they got outshot, but they're playing great defense. Skinner was solid again. The big fluke appears to be the 3rd period of Game 1. or this thing would
Agreed.
be over, right? Power play, power play, power play. Edmonton just stays out of the box. They'll be okay. Be disciplined. Don't make mistakes. And what they're doing offensively now, with all these guys chipping in, it's the same thing as Jonathan Davis wrote today. You got 18 different players that have scored, and you have 21 guys with a point for Florida and 19 with Edmonton. So there's so many guys that can beat you, and now you're seeing that some spots it's McDavid, other spots it's Bob for favorite to win the Conn Smythe. Mm-hmm. But Edmonton's first things first, they got to get this one tomorrow, but hopefully we get a rematch, and then I don't know what's going to happen if that's the Stanley Cup final. And I do know I don't expect anything out of Carolina tonight.
Well,
I know it's hockey, but come on. It's 16-4 in the series. Yep. You tried the goalie change. That didn't work. You can't get anything going offensively. They're scoring 5 goals a game on you.
It's
just
a total mismatch.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the JV versus the varsity here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a surprising result. Not that Florida's up 3-0, but we are talking about total domination here.
6-2, 5-2, 5-0, I know.
Blitzkriegs, man.
Yes.
And
yes.
I do think at this point, I mean, if we get Edmonton and those are the two best teams in a rematch from last year. Can Skinner pull this off? Is that 300-1 ticket live at all? He's down to 60.
He's down to
at
60.
DK.
I saw that. Down to 60, yeah. You got to keep giving up 1 or 2 goals, yeah. And can he outplay Bob in the final? Absolutely. Wow. The other thing is maybe Toronto was one of the best teams. They had these guys down 2-0, and then Stolarz got hurt.
I know.
And they
blew
went
game
to
3.
And they did. And they went to Florida and won game 6 and shut them out.
That's right.
Maybe Florida was one of the, Toronto was one of the best teams. They just, the injury was too much. Smarter bets start here with VSiN Pro. Now's the time to jump in. 14 months, $199. 2 extra months for free when you use promo code PRO. Less than 50 cents a day. The daily email from Bill 80. Every pick, every host, every guest. The Mackinnon bullpen breakdowns and trends. And the upcoming NFL betting guide, which drops in a few months. Limited time offer. Ends the end of May. Don't miss out. VSiN.com/subscribe. Promo code PRO.
More on the card coming up next, including bullpens to pay attention to on this Memorial Day and pitchers going through the order for a second or the third time. Numbers next.
If your job at a healthcare facility includes disinfecting against viruses, you know prevention is the best medicine. And maintaining healthy spaces starts with a healthy cleaning routine. Grainger's world-class supply chain helps ensure you have the quality products you need when you need them. From disinfectants and cleaning supplies to personal protective equipment, so you can help deliver a clean bill of health. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Day baseball here today on Memorial Day. 1 game in the books. Detroit beat San Francisco by a score of 3-1. Cold conditions across the country today, most ballparks, so it was going to be pitcher friendly, and we are seeing that with low scoring games. The one exception would be the game tonight at 7:05 Eastern time in Tampa. They are expecting 90-degree temps at Steinbrenner Field, but it's Tampa. And it's late May, so you should all know that probably by now. Paddock takes on Littell in that matchup. But everything else, other than the Baltimore-St. Louis game, that's 5-2 Orioles right now, top of the 5th. The other stuff has either just started or low scoring, like Milwaukee leading Boston and Crochet 2-0. This Boston offense, come on. I know they're trying to bring up this influx of really good minor leaguers that they have. Roman Anthony, hello, can he be knocking on the door sometime soon as well? And at Wrigley today, the wind's howling in, Pauly. A robbed Pete Crow Armstrong of a home run. That was, for those of you who may have missed it, he hit one to right center. That was a home run in 29 out of 30 ballparks today, but not at Wrigley. And they lead the Rockies 2-1, bottom of the 7th. Right now, the Cubbies with runners on first and second. Check that. Bases loaded now with only 1 out.
For the Cubbies?
Yep. Updated total is 5.5.
Okay, this is great. So you can also tinker around with run line and the total. Cubs now, you can take Rockies 11-1 in play. The Cubs have outscored their opponents by 50 runs, 6th inning on in the last 9 games. I've never seen anything like it. It's nuts, and thanks to Ian for the text and the info on this, but you go back and, what they did against Cincinnati and the last 9 games, what they're doing 6th inning on, how the offense just unleashes hell, and they're outscoring everybody. So this is a great time to jump in, and maybe you can add something in the 8th. But I wish we were able to get to it sooner, and now the timing sucks because they have the bases loaded. But this is wild that the Cubs continue to do this on the last night.
Oh, and he dropped it.
What happened?
Tucker with a fly. Are they going to say that he was out? Did he have it far enough or no, long enough?
Oh.
Tucker with a fly ball to left. The left fielder for the Rockies coming in. He thought he was going to be able to throw the guy out at home plate as well. No, he dropped it. So now what? Now the ball's going around the infield here. So it's 3-1 on the scoreboard right now as we're watching here on Marquee. And
don't leave the base. What are these guys doing?
Now they're going to call it out. Yeah, who the hell knows at this point? Now they'll take it off the board here for a minute to figure out exactly what's going on. But like you said, if you wanted to bet live Cubs on the run line there or maybe over 5.5, bases loaded with Tucker up, so the 2, 3, 4 batters there with only one out.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what the ruling is going to be officially here now on the field.
Okay. Crochet, by the way, was solid again. Gave up the leadoff home run to start the game. There'll be 11 to 12 starts. He's allowed 2 earned runs or fewer. Just no help as well. If Colorado, assuming this holds up and they lose, and then they lose another one, that'll set the record. That'll be 21 straight series they've lost for the Rockies.
Yeah, heard something. Scott Seidenberg was filling in for Adam Shine today on the show right before us. He said that of the 44 losses so far for the Rockies, 38 have been by 2 runs or more. 38 of the 44 losses.
Yep.
Wow.
Of course, they beat the Yankees, too, in a low-scoring game.
Why would they
They
not?
couldn't get to the kid Friday.
So isn't that funny what we talked about? Like, if you want to be the most contrarian bettor in the world tonight, you should do alt-unders on the Yankees team total.
Yep.
And you said, we told you that you could alt them anywhere from under 2.5, or 6.5 all the way down to like 2.5. They all came in. It was a fun discussion. I never thought about doing it.
And then Judge goes deep, too, in the loss. And then Saturday.
Yeah, and
with
get
the
on Saturday.
A total bases of 4. Yeah.
Sure.
So, that stunk. Reds get a run early already against the Royals. And Yamamoto and Williams coming up. What do you think? Williams has been good.
He's been good.
2-0 with a 1.69 going back. Dodgers roughed him up, though, last year. And now, again, the Dodgers in a bit of a funk. But tough loss last night. Ohtani goes deep, and that was it. But you got so many injuries to the starters.
Yeah.
And I can't, in Cleveland now, start playing some. What was happened there? To take 3 out of 4 in Detroit, I was shocked.
Well, that absolutely is a knife to my kidney because I have the Tigers 16-1 most wins in May. They have 16 after today's win. They're 1 back of the Phillies. If the Guardians don't take 3 out of 4, if they split, I'm tied right now with the Phillies, or if the Tigers take 3 out of 4, I have the lead right now. And so now we have only a couple of days left this month. Need some serious help for those of you who also bet the Tigers. I will give you some stuff to look for today while we're live on the air. And by the way, Varsho with a first-inning home run off Jacob deGrom. Blue Jays lead the Rangers 1-0. But here's some stuff to look at while we're live on the air today. Really good pitching matchup there. Gossman against deGrom. Now, Gossman's 3rd time through the order, so a little bit later on in this game. We'll bring it up right now. The 3rd time through, his ERA is 7.15 on the year. The FIP is 4.5, so that's better than the ERA, but it's still not good. Only a 17% K rate, 1.32 whip, and 43.2% with the hard hit rate. So hopefully when Gossman, if he goes that far today, the 3rd time through, before that we can find a nice plus price on the Rangers to maybe score a run in, like, let's say the top of the bottom of the 5th inning or the bottom of the 6th inning at that point. That's the big one that really sticks out for the afternoon games today. And Martinez is another one. Although the conditions today at Kauffman in Kansas City are very pitcher-friendly, Martinez has been really good. But when he goes through the order for the 3rd time on the year, his ERA is almost 11. The FIP is 6.5, 2.5 home runs per 9, 16% K rate, and a 51.4% hard hit rate allowed. So if Martinez is in that game and the Royals are coming up for the 3rd time with the order, maybe it's going to be a time to look at them scoring a run.
I would recommend St. Louis plus 3.5 runs in play. Baltimore has one of the worst bullpens in baseball. They give up the 2nd most walks. So you wouldn't be surprised if St. Louis can make a comeback. Also, the Reds are in action against the Royals. Mm-hmm. The Reds have bad numbers. 4th most home runs allowed, bullpen. And the Royals are top 5 in bullpen ERA. They also have the fewest walks allowed for the bullpen. And then the Angels have the worst, followed by Washington and the A's.
Yeah.
And the Angels are in action tonight against the Yankees, and the Yankees are a good-sized favorite on the road.
All right, very good. For the record, in that Cubs game, they did rule it a sacrifice fly from Tucker. So Shaw scored to make it 3-1, and then Suzuki came up and he struck out swinging to end the inning.
Oh, he did.
So
Did you
Cubs,
see his numbers?
he's got 14 home runs on the year.
He's got 49 RBIs in 49 games. The last...
So their outfield between Suzuki, Tucker, and Pete Crow Armstrong, if their numbers translate over a full season, they have to be on pace to be, I'm just going to spitball here, they have to be on pace to be, I don't know, a top 10 outfield of all time for any single season. Yeah. That's zero hyperbole there.
I can't believe the year this guy's having. Andre Dawson did the 50 and 50 when he won the MVP in 87.
And you're talking about Suzuki here.
Yeah, because Dawson went 50 RBIs in 50 games. This guy's got, he missed a couple games, but he's got 49 games played, 49 RBIs.
Well.
And then he's playing today.
And I keep
Dawson won the MVP on a last place team in 87. This is nuts what these guys are doing.
And I keep seeing stats on Crow Armstrong, like he's either the first player in history to accomplish something, or like the first player since Barry Bonds, or one of only like two players since, ever, like Barry Bonds and him. That's it. Mm-hmm. So that's how good he is, and that's, again, robbed of a home run today because of the wind, out at 29 of the other 30 ballparks across Major League Baseball. So there's some live stuff for you, and Cardinals plus 3.5. You like that as well. It's a little bit juiced at DraftKings the way it looks, but with that bullpen, like you talked about, and by the way, is Morton still in the game? As the Orioles batting on the bottom of the fifth, they can, if he's still in the game, I'll double check that.
Yep.
Can always get to him.
I got a prop quickly as well. Joe Osborne was on this today. Taylor Ward tonight. 1.5 over hits, runs, and RBIs prop. He's gone over that 12 of the last 14. 7 bombs the last 15 days, and he's 4 of 8 against Yarborough. So a 12-2 run there with that prop today.
Excellent.
That goes at 6:30. How'd you like to play Circa Survivor or Circa Millions for free? Winner's Circle Proxy giving away 1 free entry to each contest, plus full proxy service. You'll be paired with a VSiN host for strategy all season long. Enter now for your chance to win. Visit winnercircleproxy.com/VSiN. What a giveaway. winnercircleproxy.com/VSiN. Mm-hmm. Bunch of people signed up over the weekend. I know I was talking to one guy. I was talking to a guy got 10 survivors earlier today.
He did all of them already?
Yep, so they're coming in fast and furious already that they started on Friday. Good job.
Yeah, when Anthony Curtis comes in studio coming up in about 35 minutes, Mr. Las Vegas advisor, he's been in contests with Frank B over the years. And Frank B is a professional sports bettor and one of the best contest players like ever. He's very, very good.
In the house.
And yeah, right. And I want to know what has been the reaction from the Frank B types, right? And others who Anthony Curtis hangs out with and knows and talks to about a $100,000 Survivor contest. We'll get to Game 4 between the Timberwolves and the Thunder up next. I think we have to go back to the well one more time with this player prop. I'll tell you who it is next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
So when we were talking about the unpredictability of the NBA playoffs this year, especially with the live stuff, well, this was, the full game on Saturday night. Did you really see the Wolves winning by 40 points in Game 3? I get the zigzag, I get the bounce back, and the others playing well, and the home court means a lot, and Edwards takes over, and he's the man. But that game was over with, debatably, in the first quarter.
Yeah.
If you want to say halftime, fine. I'm not going to argue. I thought before halftime, it's curtains here.
I laid 10.5. I didn't have to worry about it.
No.
That's what I thought, too. But listen, if they're going to go 20 of 40 from 3, I think they're going to win the game, as opposed to how bad they shot in the first 2 games. Right. But this is a real problem here for the Thunder. So you look at the home-road splits, and they're averaging 16 fewer points per game on the road in the playoffs. They're down 30 in Game 3 against Memphis and win by 6. They're a 12-point favorite against Memphis without Ja. They win by 2. They score only 104 points in the overtime loss in Denver. They win 92-87. Then they lose Game 6, 119 to 107, and then only score 101 and get embarrassed in Game 3. It's been a completely different team on the road, and a big reason why is what they're doing offensively and what they're not doing offensively. And like Conley said after the game, not as much zone, going back hardcore, man-to-man, physicality. Free to throw Merchant, not so much. I know the crowd was loving it, chanting it, but it's also a different OKC team when the whistle doesn't go their way.
That's for sure. And I would say that the Wolves, with those open looks in the first 2 games, I would say that a handful of those, at least from multiple players, like the shots were halfway down and they would come out. Mm-hmm. Now, with maybe those are totally different games. Game 1 absolutely would have been. Game 2, I'm not so sure. But to your point on the home road splits here for Oklahoma City, if you just go back for the first 2 games, Oklahoma City for 6 straight quarters played to their power rating.
Yeah.
And that's like, okay, that's the team that we've been watching since October with the best margin of victory differential in the history of the sport, and this, elite, historically great defense. And then it just completely flipped. I honestly, I can't bet on them. I don't want to bet the zigzag here tonight after they lost this game. I'm not going to have any of my money on Oklahoma City, but what I would do is I'm hoping that they get blown out again tonight. And then the number is around 7 for Game 5. And it doesn't mean it's going to be a winner, but I'd come back and probably play around the world with Oklahoma City first quarter, first half, and for the game then in Game 5.
Well, the margin can throw people off. Remember what they did to Denver in Game 2, and then Denver responded and got the win in Game 3.
Right.
So this one's tough. I also think it's a good in play and see what happens if OKC responds after getting embarrassed. And then I also think, though, it's the old Matt Humans line. You're probably going to get a better number, both sides in play. I would count on it. And the other thing is, let's attack the player props, though, because Alexander Walker continues to deliver. It's unbelievable that when we back Randall, he stinks it up and he gets benched, and then he's great in Game 3, much like Toppin. But what Shannon was able to give him, and you can bet Shannon's prop over 3.5. Guy was awesome. And he got major minutes, did an excellent job. The stage wasn't too big, and Finch is going to come right back with him. All I need is 2 baskets
do we know that for sure?
Oh, absolutely. You got to. Come on.
Well, to me, yes, you absolutely have to inject him into the game a little bit tonight.
Yeah.
But is he going to get enough playing time to go? Is he going to get enough usage, enough attempts here
he'll
in
shoot.
the game?
You don't think he'll get in? It's going up, my friend. So what he did to go off in Game 3, but I'm confident in these other guys as well.
Alexander Walker finally found a shot.
He did. I'm not there with DiVincenzo still, but then again, as we've said, why it can be frustrating from day to day and betting these games is just, what are you going to do from 3? Well, they couldn't make a shot the first 2 games, and they come home and they go 20 or 40.
Of course.
So.
Total storyline here. With Alexander Walker, 17 points in Game 2, 12 points in 18 minutes of the Game 3 blowout. Keep in mind, again, we were ripping on that guy or pointing out the negative part because the shots were just not going in, and the offense was never there from the guy. Last 2 games, okay. And so tonight, over 8.5 was about even money. 3-0 over his points prop against the Thunder so far in this series. And the other guy tonight is Naz Reid, over 6.5 rebounds still.
Yep.
But people are betting the under on this because it opened up about plus 105. I'm looking at plus 125 in that neighborhood to go over now. He's had exactly 8 in all 3 of the games of the series so far. Averaged 12.3 rebounding chances per game. And don't forget what he did in the regular season as well on the glass. 11, 11, 14, and 8 in order against Oklahoma City earlier. So I think Naz Reid has to be worth a look tonight with the rebounds anyway.
It also reminded me a little bit of Michael Jordan, what Ant did. I'm coming in, I'm taking over, and there's nothing you can do about it. He led all players in points, rebounds, assists, and 3-pointers in Game 3. And just that look afterwards, he was a man on a mission, and in the postgame with the hat down, as well. So if he wants to come out again and be aggressive and get his, and also get everyone involved, sometimes at that stage, there's nothing the opponent can do about it.
Is there something there with him, by the way, that you're buying into with his overall production and play on the road compared to at home?
Yeah, there is something there.
Because why is he not that player every game?
I don't know why he isn't aggressive on the road. I don't know.
Exactly right.
It should flip. You would think the others are more comfortable at home, and then you spread it around. But on the road, you take over and you're taking more shots. It's backwards.
And for what it's worth, I can't even imagine what the number was on him to lead the series in rebounding.
Oh.
He has 27. He's had 9 in every single game so far. He is the series leader in rebounds right now, per my math. And I grabbed Naz Reid at 85 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
He's 3 back of him right now. He can't catch up to Edwards because every game he's had 9 so far.
Uh-huh.
And
he's the second choice now. He's right behind Gobert for the game leaders. That's just tonight.
Yeah. Edwards is 8.5. Shop around, maybe some plus money out there if you want to go over that number. If you think he's going to get 9 again. Great write-up on vsin.com from Dan Karpuk. He thinks that Alex Caruso was a guy that you got to pay attention to because in his analysis, he thinks Caruso is going to have to be on the court and guarding Edwards more tonight defensively. And as a result, that means that he's going to have more attempts and more usage on offense. And he is basically, again, he explains why betting over 7.5 points tonight at even money when it was that number at DraftKings is worth it to him. I agree with that, right? Because it's going to have to be Caruso is they have elite defenders all over the map, obviously, on this team. Team defense has also been terrific, but he only played 10 minutes in the blowout loss, had 3 points. It's going to have to be a comment like Dort and him. Go out there and do whatever you can to not allow Edwards to be the best player on the court and go for like 40 in this game. Kind of bothers me, by the way.
What?
Everybody's trying to force this about the face of the league down our throats. I mean,
right.
Does anybody really care who the face of the league is? But they always.
Well, he wants it though.
Okay, but then go out there and play like that on the road. Then.
Okay.
Again, you can't bottle that game up and be that guy every night. Again, maybe not the shots.
Did the same thing in Golden State.
Yes.
Took over. Second half though, came out timid. Second half, I'll take over. Nothing you can.
And then
do
how about
it.
Laughing at the box score after the game's over with again? That's happened at least twice now in the postseason. Weird.
Yep. It'll be fun.
Did you bet the game overall tonight?
No, I have no idea. Other than the props, no.
No way,
I did bet the Panthers. I just don't think. I mean, come on now. It's $1.15 to win in regulation. Going back to Anderson, they've scored 5 goals or more, 4 in a row. That's the 4th time that's happened in 30 years.
I would rather actually have a big bet on the NBA game tonight than take Carolina.
Yeah.
I have zero desire to be on this team right now.
Well, it's happened 4 times. Down 0-3 to come back and do it in hockey. The 14 Kings, the 2010 Flyers, the 75 Islanders, the 42 Maple Leafs. But they've lost 15 in a row. 15 in a row in the conference finals. They're getting embarrassed again.
Sure.
What was it? Just an easy path? I guess it was just New Jersey and Washington.
No, I think
whoop-de-doo.
I think Florida's that good.
Well, yeah, they're good, but also I think it's a lot going on here. Florida's good. Toronto was better than what we thought, and it was an easy path with New Jersey and Washington as well. Just to get housed like this in the first 3 games. It's also imperative that Florida wins because then you have guys that are hurt and you can rest. The finals they would have 9 days off if they win tonight. Yes.
No.
June 4th. June 4th, this cup starts.
Oh, my God.
NBA playoffs. Back at it tonight. Our partner, Profit X, offering the best odds all playoff long. Profit X, a peer-to-peer sports exchange available in 40-plus states. You'll be able to make sports picks against other groups of fans rather than against books. Exchanges guarantee the best odds on average by 10 to 20%. You can even request your own odds. Download Profit X today, code VSiN. Earn up to $200 in profit cash over your first month. Go get it now, code VSiN at Profit X.
There was some big news today in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark, the injury. Good game yesterday. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, defeated the Liberty. Huge comeback there in the third quarter to take the lead. And now she's going to be out for a couple of weeks. And that, to me, has to, I think, spell a little bit of doom for people who were cutting in line to bet her to win the MVP.
Yes.
Right? For the entire offseason?
Yes.
So, I mean, there's a lot of talent in this league.
She hasn't played that well. She had a game where she didn't make a 3. She had 10 turnovers in a game.
And look at how well somebody like Collier is playing for Minnesota.
Yes.
She's electric every single night. So we'll talk about that. And Pauly will tell you about an 80-1 prop that cashed over the weekend as well. Next here on VSiN.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Were you a winner last night? Wow, winning. Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Pauly Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Final day of the Premier League yesterday. Everton shocks Newcastle 11-1 on the money line. Man United 4-1. Absolute disgrace and abomination. I feel so bad what happened to Aston Villa. They score to go up 1-0. The referee blows the call, and then they can't check VAR because he blew the whistle right when the guy was kicking into the net. He apologized afterwards. They want an investigation. The guy had no experience. Cost him a spot in the Champions League. Incredible what happened, how he blew that call. Oh, and the postgame was awesome as well. And some of the quotes. I felt so bad for him. Wolves Brentford draw plus 270. Liverpool Crystal Palace draw plus 520. Game 2, Friday night, Siakam, 14-1 most points. 35 or more, 17-1. Most threes, Brunson plus 475. Most rebounds, Robinson 7-1. Pacers money line plus 210. Game 3, Cat most points 5-1. Most threes, OG plus 650. Game 3, as I mentioned earlier, Ant led points, rebounds, assists, and threes. Rebounds were 6-1, assists were 5-1. Stars Oilers Game 2. Nugent Hopkins first goal 18-1. Brown anytime goal plus 650. Last goal 35-1. Skinner shutout 7-1. Oilers minus 2.5 plus 360. Stars Oilers Game 3. Bouchard first goal 22-1. Klinberg last goal 50-1. Anytime 11-1. Hyman to score twice 21-1. McDavid 2 goals 9-1. And if you laid 4.5 on the outline, that was 14-1. Game 3, Panthers Hurricanes. Here's what Mitch was talking about. He's out tonight. Mikkola, first goal, 80-1, and anytime, 17-1. Bennett does it again, 2 goals, 17-1. Altline minus 3.5 plus 650. Exact score, Florida 6-2, 60-1. And a shocker in the WNBA, Golden State, 10.5 point dogs, plus 450 on the money line. Cubs win, fly the W. They cover the run line. Colorado drops to 3-23 on the road. And if they lose either tomorrow or Wednesday, it'll be the record. 21 straight series without winning.
So that's now officially 39 of the 45 losses by 2 runs or more on the year?
Oh. Subscribe, be part of the team, vsin.com. Our radio and podcast friends, you always want to see these tweets and videos at Pauly Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in, we'll put you on. Tribute to my son. It's his day. Jordan turns 10. This is one of my favorite moments. I had to pull the phone out. I was driving in the neighborhood, 5 miles an hour. And then he jumped on my lap and said, let me go. Puts the paws on the steering wheel, staring straight ahead the whole time. Careful driver, better than I am. And
that's for sure.
Laser focused, locked in, right? Look at him. He's got it the whole time. How am I doing? Okay, that's great.
Great video.
Yep, I love that one.
Happy birthday, Jordan.
Yep, I got one more for you, too. I was sitting on I was at a friend's house, sitting on has an ice cream sandwich. Looking at the ice cream sandwich and peekaboo. He jumped up. He's standing on there. He's got one paw on the chair and the other one on the couch and the tail's going crazy. Are you going to give me some? Can I, right? He's just sitting there drooling. Can't give you that.
Well, that would have been scarfed up in about 3 seconds if you looked away.
It's like what you saw. Oh, he did that with the prime ribs, the French dip sandwich, and then the McDonald's burger one time. You can't head on a swivel. You leave it up on the counter. And it's been our old friend Blue. Remember the French bulldog that was born deaf and he eats like a human? Yeah, Memorial Day tribute.
Is he back?
The red, white, and blue. He's got the strawberry out. Yeah, got the strawberry on the fork, holding it with his front paws. Piece of cake, right? And I don't know when it's his birthday, but 'tis the season, right? I think we got him too. Luke with the birthday cake. Yeah, here we go. There he is, little birthday cake.
Is that Blue again?
Too. That's Blue also.
Okay.
Yes.
That dog, this is the definition of a dog living its best life.
Oh, God. He's loving it. We discovered him during the COVID
Yeah.
When he was, they handed him a burrito. He grabbed it with the front paws, and he's eating it like a human, sitting down, having a snack. And
he's been an Instagram and I think TikTok superstar for, you're right, half a decade now.
Blue NG, I think it's spelled, but give him a follow on Instagram as well.
I'm actually surprised. I'm surprised the dog's still alive.
Good kid. And two vicious beats. Did you see this Friday night? Connecticut was catching 16 against Minnesota.
Yeah.
They were up 15 with 5 minutes and blew it. They were plus 950 on the money line. And they got me Saturday. Man, they got the meat, man. Sunderland, Sheffield United, the richest soccer match. The winner got promoted at Wembley. 2.5 or 2.5, heavily juiced to the under. Of course, they score in the 95th minute. Sunderland comes back and wins 2-1. That sucked. That was tough. And, of course, the other title games at Wembley. League One, League Two, 1-0, 1-0. As it should be. Always cagey and nervy. Before the line moves, the Sharp Plays at sharpplays.com already there. They don't chase the market, they move it. You're not going to outmuscle billion-dollar books or full-time pro bettors on your own. With the Sharp Plays, you don't have to. Powered by cutting-edge AI and trusted insider sources, the Sharp Plays delivers the edge that serious bettors rely on. You get free betting reports, real-time alerts, and market-moving insights, all delivered right to you via email or X. And this isn't some overnight startup. Documented track record going back to 2011. Receipts, logs, and results right there on the site. Respected, watched, and feared. That's a Sharp Place. Check them out now, sharpplays.com.
So I tell you what one book did here in Las Vegas anyway, with the WNBA MVP numbers at the Westgate. Now Collier with the Lynx, a $2 favorite to win the MVP. Clark is at plus 250. Again, she's going to be on the mend here for, they think, at least 2 weeks before she can come back and play again.
What does she mean to the point spread now? That's also what I want to see in their next game with her out.
I mean, my guess would be, I'm just going to, you asked, I'll say at least 4 points.
Okay.
Right? I could be wrong on that for sure. Might be more. I doubt it's less than that, but I think it's going to be significant. That's for sure. Asia Wilson, by the way, for the record, is looks like third on the betting board over at the Westgate as well for the WNBA MVP at plus 650 to win that award.
Wow.
They got absolutely blown out by Seattle yesterday.
Yes.
So maybe she's not going to win it this year. But now Collier, who is so good with Minnesota, as the $2 favorite. Wow, that's a pretty big move right there. But it has to be done, right? When an injury happens like that right away in the season, you're going to be gone for a couple of weeks. Tough to make that up if other players don't get hurt.
Yep.
So, day baseball again going on as we speak.
The Rocky thing's hilarious.
Well, what part?
That's just the
whole thing?
The record, the run differential. Lost 21 series in a row, assuming they drop another one here in the next couple of days. Of course, they did shock the Yankees on Friday. But they lost that series when they lost Saturday and Sunday as well. I mean, it's just, to be on pace to lose 138 games? Come on. I mean, you put these props up. Will they win 40? Will they win 35? And the beat goes on and on about how bad this team could be and what we're watching in the second worst run differential since 1900.
Their win total before Friday was 38.5. They then defeated the Yankees and went to 39.5. They lost the next day and moved to 38.5. So again, if you go back 2 weeks ago, it was 44.5. Like, how are they going to win 45 games at that time? So there is this with some live betting potential today with the Rangers and the Blue Jays. Great pitching matchup on paper. DeGrom versus Gausman today. DeGrom's been touched up here for 2 runs through 4 innings, give up a first-inning home run. And Gausman has been great so far through 3. Has only allowed 1 hit, does not have a strikeout. But I ran down his numbers earlier in this hour. The 3rd time through the lineup for Gausman. And so now we're looking at batters 2, 3, and 4 coming up, so not quite yet. But maybe after this inning is when you want to take a peek at the Rangers to either score a run in the next inning or for the Rangers to maybe come back and win. His numbers in the 3rd time through the lineup on the year are awful. 7+ with the ERA. The FIP may be a little bit better than that, but the hard hit rate is more than 50%. Doesn't strike out many batters at all. It's like 17%. So I think if we can get through one more inning of allowing nothing, maybe that's when we want to attack it with the Rangers somehow. And you said Cardinals plus 3.5 runs.
Yeah.
They trail 5-2 still going to the bottom of the 7th in Baltimore.
All right, it's minus 230 at DraftKings. Yep, Baltimore, horrible bullpen. And You're not only asking them to score again, you're asking them to, okay, they moved to 2.5 plus 185 just now. You're asking them to shut them down, which take my chances there, how bad that bullpen's been. Yes, I got a surprise for you and a surprise for the audience as well. I was able to get see an EDC bill. It's a big boy.
400,000?
It's up there. But get you with the 20%, the 9%, you'll be stunned by the tax and then the auto-grat and then another 9% fee that's on there as well.
Another one.
Yes.
They just keep making up fees
I got
nowadays,
a good one. Someone sent me a good one.
Okay, and you're going to share this by the end of the show?
Yeah, I want to see if Anthony Curtis can top it too. All the stories he's had, the EDC's been coming here every year.
Yeah. Up next, it is Mr. Las Vegas advisor Anthony Curtis going to join us in studio. Derek Stevens introduced a new $100,000 Survivor entry here at Circle last week. AC knows a lot of sharp people across the industry. What kind of reaction did he get from those bettors about the new contest? Find out next here on VSiN.
If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high-quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.